Classic Tom's Cut. Not much water in it these days though.
From the viewpoint by the A844 main road at Ardscalpsie on Bute, a footpath goes down to the beach at Scalpsie, descending the escarpment formed by the fossil sea cliff, which now lies 100 metres inland from the modern limit of the high tide.
The beach and then along the coast of Stravannan.
The coastal strip along this section of Bute's coastline is a raised beach, a legacy of the post-glacial period when sea levels were higher than now. At this western end of the bay, the grey coloured rocks on the raised beach and on the former sea cliff just inland belongs to the Highlands side of the famous Highland Boundary Fault, which cuts Bute in two distinctive geological halves. As we cross the beach heading east, we will step across the boundary fault onto the lowland zone, and the rocks we encounter beyond are red in colour. They belong to the Old Red Sandstone geological series. The difference is striking. Scalpsie, like many of the gently shelving beaches on Bute, is an ideal habitat for waders, such as the numerous oyster catchers, as well as curlew and redshank. No wonder, just look at the number of worm casts in the sand here, a sign of a tasty morsel buried under the sand. These lovely pale lilac coloured daisies seem to be on display everywhere on the coast in the middle of summer. Sandstone over here on the lowland side of the boundary fault. I see weathered sandstone, conglomerates primarily. It's quite interesting to see that this layers of old sandstone are tilted at a very similar angle to the 20 degrees in the basalt on the south end of the island. Must be a common angle of dip across the whole of Bute. Bedrock on this section of the coast is red sandstone, but there are still plenty of rocks lying around which originated on the other side of the boundary fault. These are relics of highland rocks, glacial erratics, transported by glaciers during the last ice age and dumped miles from their point of origin when the glaciers retreated. Here at Ardnahoe, the former beach platform is 200 or 300 metres wide, and the fossil sea cliff is set well back from the reach of the tides now. Under all this vegetation lies the shingle and boulders of the former beach, some of it having been exposed again by more recent coastal erosion. Here is a good example of what lies on top of the former beach. A sizable layer of soil with vegetation growing on the surface.
I hear the cattle, just curious to see what's going on. Well, this little thing that looks like a foundations of a wall is a basalt dike intruded into the sandstone. Another big wider basalt dike here. It's only in a different orientation to the last one.
Sadly, as we progress along the coast, we keep coming across plastic debris. We gathered up what we can manage to carry, including a coloured beach ball. Our mountain collection includes plastic bottles, half a traffic cone, and bits of plastic bags, as well as the ball. Unfortunately, there is just too much for us to carry away everything we find.
Gallachan Bay. Here we have an Iron Age beach toy, which we found on our archaeological dig.
Don't call me an Iron Age beach toy.
1672.
The inscription on this rock is intriguing, and we speculated whether it is a gravestone marking a place where the victim of a shipwreck was washed ashore in 1672 and buried on the beach nearby. Who knows?
either side of that fine sandstone.
Yeah.
So you've got a period there where that must have been under deeper water, where the finer material gets washed out further out. Whereas the other stuff is dumped near the shore, I would think.
Much of the Old Red Sandstone along the coast here consists of conglomerate, an assortment of ancient pebbles of various sizes bound together in a finer material. These ancient pebbles must originate from an even older rock than the sandstone, the product of the long-term erosion of more ancient mountains and deposited on even more ancient shorelines. Even now, these pebbles have been broken free from the sandstone and make up at least a component of the shingle which lies on these shores now. They are in transition from one geological epoch to the next one, far in the future, perhaps along with the fossilised plastic as a mark of our passing.
Over the game of volleyball. Beach volleyball.
That's my car.
Ah, your bag's got stuck on the fence.
Doing even? Like, we can't do it up here.
Thank you.
I think Arlene won the limbo dancing competition there.
Yeah.
Just a bit marshy. Watch your little Sunday shoes. Be careful with your Sunday shoes. Be a links course, couldn't it?
Sausages.
Gallachan Links golf course.
Sausages.
Add another basalt die, making a point. More paddling to do.
Here, the Langelbunach burn empties into the bay, the last stage of the water cycle as it returns from the land to the sea to evaporate again, before being carried in the clouds back to the mountains, where it will fall as rain and replenish these burns once again. Oh, big puddle, yuck. That's a bit yucky, that is. That's how they try and keep you out then. Change of tactics to keep you out.
Oh, I wonder. I think so.
My name is Petros. I am a rock, conceived beneath ancient seas. You think of me as timeless, but can you not see that I am broken, fragments fallen to relentless tides? For we are all mortal, turned to sand, shattered by the waves of time. Me and you, my brother, we are destined to return to the sea, for we are just atoms in an eternal cycle, and shall be reincarnate from the mud, gathering again in another place, emerging again in another time. You as a rock, me as a man.